Yo, what's up guys, it's the Insane Game Freak here to bring you kind of my thoughts, impressions on Sonic Lost World. They came out with the trailer today, and I think tomorrow they'll be coming out with the pictures of the actual character designs, which I may or may not wait, but it really doesn't matter because they also came out. I think if you did it, I think J-Man did a video today, but the problem with that video is that video was before they released all this extra details. I'm gonna link it in the description where you can get all the details about the game. But essentially, we got the trailer today, and I would just give my thoughts on the trailer, but they came out with all this information, so let's go ahead and talk about it here. Okay, so first off, the trailer itself looked pretty cool. It seems like they've learned from their mistakes with pretty much the Sonic Adventure series on forward, excluding probably Heroes didn't do that realistic bullshit. Shadow did it. 06 did it. Black Knight didn't do it. Secret Rings didn't do it. Unleashed did it. Even though Unleashed it wasn't that bad, but still Unleashed did it. Yeah. They've decided to go back to the cartoony route, which I think a lot of people were happy about, because it's just kind of like, as much as you like Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, it's just like at the end of the day, Sonic should be more cartoony than being put in the real world, because a lot of people say it looks so awkward. So I'm glad they're keeping it with the cartoony feel that Colors, Generations, and this game looks like it's going to have. The level design looks pretty interesting. I am curious if they're going to do the multiple paths thing. A lot of people have related this game to like Sonic. It's pretty much like Sonic Galaxy, but what people really need to know is that this is pretty much Sonic Xtreme, and some people were mentioning in the comments, and I'm gonna have some footage of some Sonic Xtreme footage on here, which was supposed to be Sonic's like first 3D game, but it got canceled. If you look at the levels of that and then look at this, it literally looks like almost the same game. It's ridiculous, but they released a whole bunch of information, so I'm not gonna really have to do any major speculations. I'm just gonna talk about it, and we'll see how it goes. All right. There's actually a lot of stuff, surprisingly. So obviously we know it's mixing 2D and 3D mechanics. The levels look ridiculous. We can already tell that. Apparently Sega has shown 3 levels so far, which confuses me because they all look like the same level. Unless these are like how many acts are gonna be in like certain levels. I'm actually, are they doing the act system still? Not sure. Let's see. Twist, turn, and jump along floating constructs suspended in midair. Levels are now informed by gameplay needs, with some stages focusing on slower speeds with more platforming, and others pushing players to run fast as possible. So it's not all going to be just straight speed levels. Like some levels will be more platform heavy than others, and some will be more speed heavy than others. The names of the areas, and this is kind of the disappointing part because this shit sounds really uninspired. Areas include Wind Hill, Desert Ruins 1, Desert Ruins 2, which I guess are the 3 levels they're going to show so far. Desert Ruins 1 is made up of like cakes, cookies, donuts, and all manners of candy, which just comes off sounding like Sweet Mountain from Sonic Colors. Desert Ruins 2 features an entirely different gameplay style. Which, does that mean the gameplay is like completely different, or does that mean like it's just gonna have a different basis? I'm not totally sure. Desert Area 2 offers tunnel racing concept from the previous games. Tunnel racing. I don't know if that's referring to just like the grind sections from like Generations and Colors, or is it referring to like an actual kart racer like they did in Seaside Hill modern version. Not totally sure. Controlling Sonic speed and a parkour system, which were the 2 key elements that were thought of during the development. The parkour system actually is pretty cool. A lot of people don't really. Some people is like, oh, it's new moves, but it's not really new moves. They're just. Well, here's the thing. I originally thought it was just going to be a part of his moveset for this game, but I kind of like the parkour system because it's essentially saying, you know how they even mention it in the list of stuff here. I'm not even done. That. You know, in other games, if you were to run super speed and hit a wall, that was it. In this game, it's like, no, we're gonna have Sonic do parkour to just jump over shit. You know how like you would run across a wall, you know you have to jump to get over? No, it's just like you keep running, In the parkour, you just flip over on the side, you jump over, and you keep dashing. Granted, a lot of people might think that's kind of lazy game design, because that's essentially pretty much making the jump button even more worthless, because it's like, oh no, we're dashing and then we hit a wall, but at the same time, this game doesn't look like it's using the boost feature either, so I guess maybe it balances out. Let me see. So yeah, parkour system allows the automatically accommodate basic obstacles while he's running. Team's greatest challenge was maintaining a sense of speed for the series while finding controls that made sense. Well, it looks like they've done a pretty good job since this is going to be on the 3DS and the Wii U. By default, Sonic does not burst off with a tilt of the analog stick, which would make sense because I'm assuming he's going to go from like walking to running, and then he's going to be straight running. I don't know how like fast it gets, but it looks like it gets fairly fast. What else? Let me see. Sonic walks until you use one of the gamepad triggers to engage his running speed. So they essentially just removed the boost button and made that a run button. So it's like they pretty much took out the boost, and it's just essentially he walked until you hit the run. It's kind of like Rayman Legends in that sense, where he walks normally and then you hold down the button and he runs. So I guess that, I don't know how much of a difference that is though, if he just goes into running or if it's just like a boost and it's like, I'm not sure. Let me see. You need to hold down the second trigger to pull Sonic into a ball, giving him access to his full momentum. Does that mean he's gonna have to spin dash for this game? He says Azuka compares this to the boost speed from the previous title, so maybe so his spin dash is like the boost now, I'm assuming. I'm not totally sure, I'm just kind of analyzing it as we go along here. By creating tier structure movements, Sonic Team is hoping players will be able to navigate a wide range of level designs, exploring and running as necessary, which seems pretty interesting. Let's see. They said the gamepad is used to activate wisp-based color powers. So, are there other abilities he's going to gain? Because the way this sounds like is that he has other abilities that will be added into this. At least that's what it sounds like. I'm not totally sure. Because it says the gamepad is going to be used to activate other power-ups. Are those other power-ups he's going to naturally have, or is it going to be the whole capsule thing again? And what powers are they going to get? These features, touch-based controls, are mostly used to gain access to side paths and areas. So they're using the gamepad to pretty much do the open world thing. You know, multiple pathways. Support mode, one player uses the Wii U tablet to assist the second player. Oh, it's kind of like Rayman Legends, where you have one player playing the game like normal while the other one's controlling kind of the level in a sense. If you play Rayman Legends, that's how it seems like it seems like the same kind of basics for this game. It's the only Sonic game, so there's no one else playable. But you will see Tails, Nucky. Wow, I said Nucky. You will see Tails, Knuckles, and Amy in the game. Like, they will be in the story. They just won't be playable. Which is in the story apparently is Sonic is chasing after Eggman and finds a mysterious floating island known as the Lost Hex, which makes me think this might be a part of the storyline from Generations. You know how like they were left, like Eggman was left in the void? Maybe the void is where the Lost Hex is. But then again, if Sonic is chasing him, that kind of doesn't make any sense. But I'm curious if they're going to keep connecting the storylines. So we'll see. Sonic will run across the Deadly Six, which are the 6 monsters we saw in the trailer, which look like they have interesting character designs. I'm just glad they're just monsters and not fucking realistic humans and shit. I mean, I don't mind the Sonic Adventure games for the realistic style, but at the same time, it's like, at the end of the day, Sonic the Hedgehog is a cartoon. Keep it cartoony. These foes will bring a sense of danger and humor, which would make sense. Some of the villains are probably going to be more threatening than others, and some of them are going to be goofy. I can see some of them converting. We'll see. I don't know if I don't think they're going to be Sonic character staples, but they have the possibility to be, it sounds like. And obviously the Sonic saving the animals, which apparently is the goal for each stage, which that hasn't been the goal for a stage since, like, what? Sonic Adventure 1 was the last time they did that? Yeah. well, they're probably, well, technically if you count the Sonic 4 episodes, but I mean just like as a mainstream title, unless you count the Whiffs as animals, but I guess still, you know, it feels like this is going from classic, truly bring classic to 3D, which I guess is what Xtreme was supposed to do to begin with. Rescuing animals are tracked by level, so it's a cumulative thing. This aspect will factor into unlockable content, meaning there is bonus shit you can unlock. Hopefully that means maybe extra playable characters, or maybe Supersonic probably. Red rings are coming back, so that means there's going to be something extra. And there's apparently something called gold cannons, which help you access hidden paths. And the 3DS version will have 3D levels. So from what it looks like, and they got some screenshots, this video will probably be full of like clips and videos as I'm talking. So because no one wants to just hear me talk. This seems like this is going to be a pretty fun game. And the trailer looked cool. I'm curious how they're going to do Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy in the story, because up until this point, Colors has just had Sonic and Tails, and we already saw the writers for Sonic Colors. They did those two really well. Like, you could tell there was a friendship between Sonic and Tails. In Colors and in Generations, they did a pretty good job too, even though you could tell they restricted the hell out of the story. If the story is like actually done on the same level as probably Colors is, we'll get some kick-ass interactions, and I love seeing that kind of stuff. And I'm curious how they're gonna write like Amy and Knuckles, and because we haven't really seen them like in a, what was it, since what? Like as themselves since maybe Unleashed, and Knuckles isn't really in Unleashed. It's just kind of Amy, and Amy isn't there for that long. I'm just curious about how this is gonna go, but from what it looks like, this is gonna be a pretty fun game. I'm looking forward to this. I'm so glad I already got my Wii U. I was like, I'm waiting for these titles to come out. I wanted to get the console first, so I didn't have to worry about spending $300 some plus like another 50, 60 for like 6 games and shit for each of the 6 games or whatever the fuck. But this looks like it's going to be a pretty fun title. So please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. This has been the Insane Game Freak. This looks like it's going to be a really kick-ass game, and maybe, and I'm hoping the other areas have a little bit more originality, because it sounds like the level we were shown in the trailer is like Green Hill ripoff. One of the areas they're talking about is like Sweet Mountain ripoff. I'm like, please. I mean, I know it's the same issue Mario has. It's like at a certain point you can't make the levels that damn original. You're going to be running across the same type of levels, but they found a way to make Sonic Colors seem original. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, this has been the Insane Game Freak. Life's a game, play to win, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.